And welcome to Bexbugout Survivor. What I'm wearing on my back is a vintage pack. It is the Berghaus. This one is the Cyclops Crusader. It is one of the best packs I've ever had. In fact, I have two. One I use for wild camping and the other could be kind of a bug out bag if that's the way I wanted to go with it. The confusion here with a lot of people are the actual buttles and some of the straps. How do I know that? Like I said, I've had a couple of these, and every time people try and use the buttles in a different way than they're meant to be used. First of all, we're going to look at this here. This is a kidney pad. It's designed to sit under your rib cage and on top of your hip. Here's my rib cage, there's the top of my hip, and there is where you'd usually wear a backpack. The confusion comes from this bit here, which is the quick release buttle. When I received this pack, somebody had taken the buttle off and reversed it so it was running the other way because they didn't know how to use it. What they were trying to do, I think, was click it from the outside, and didn't work. So they put it back and it still didn't work. They gave up and sold it, and I bought it. So on the right hand side, this is how the buttle looks. Now this Berghaus goes through the inside and not the outside. So it comes in from underneath, push it up, close it too. Now I can pull that tight to release. I just lift that and it falls out of that square hole, and you can see it's wider at the bottom than the top. So I'm going to put it on and then we'll fasten it properly. So watch as I bump it up. It sits on top of my cheeks. You need to come in from underneath, over, click it, pull this. Now it is resting on top of my cheeks. It's underneath my rib cage but on top of my hip bone, so it's a lot higher up than the hip belt, which should be down here. All these straps are for when I pull like this is to stop the pack falling off my back. All the weight here of the pack is on my kidneys pad there. Look, I can even take my arms out of the pack and just let it fall off. That is how it's carried. So these straps I'm doing up now are only to stop the pack falling off my back. Make sure these aren't too tight. Going to be digging into your armpit. The sternum strap, that's what it's for, to pull it in a little and then it's not rubbing under your armpit. I don't like a sternum strap, so instead I just pull it onto my back and I don't over tighten it because all the weight is on that kidney pad. I have also seen the actual click buttles used incorrectly also, and I don't know how they've managed that. Yeah, they look different, but there's no need to rethread them because you can't work out how these work. It is simple. I click in like that, and to release I push. So it is not a standard QR buttle. It looks different, and I'll show you how this works. So the male on the outside will have a couple of prongs on the top. The female in my right hand ovaled over. You can see it's not quite square, and it's obvious to say the two shapes fit together. In, keep pushing till it clicks. To release, I need to squeeze and push. Then it comes undone. I have seen people take the male off and reconfigure it, and what they're trying to do is somehow push it from this other side here. It doesn't work. These two shapes match, and in it goes. Again, I can release a bit of tension on the strap. I can draw tension, and it's meant to be used with mittens when my fingers are cold. All I have to do is squeeze and push. With one hand, that undoes like that. So it's a bit different to the modern day QR clip, which arguably is easier, but I've no intention of changing because I know how these work, and they are bloody good buttles. They just don't let you down. I also don't understand why people feel the need to take this hip belt buttle off and reverse it. But I've had two of these packs now. Both are pretty much identical. One is ex-army, the other, I assume, is civilian. They're more or less identical. Small changes. But because somebody didn't know how to use the buttles, it meant I've got a brilliant pack for cheap. They're worth about 20 to 50 quid. I wouldn't pay more than 50. If you've got one for 20 or less, I think you've had a bargain, especially if it's in good nick. You'll always get the name of the soldier and perhaps a serial number here on the pack. It's very, very common, something I don't mind too much. Get yourself a little bargain, know how to use those buttles correctly, and then you're going to be a lot happier. Until next time, take care of yourself, and I'll see you out there after trials.